6:30 on Saturday, January 17th, and I'm just doing some sketching on my sketchbook, and I wanted to draw the K-pop Demon Hunter girls, and then I was moving on to drawing Visaja boys. So I'm on Google looking up images, and look at this at the top there. It says couch, couch. Oh my gosh, my screen is so dirty. It says couch, 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 couch in a marquee. Okay, that's kind of cute. What other things? If I look up Stranger Things, because it's popular, will something pop up? But anyway, the other thing I noticed, if I go to images, I don't know if it'll show up here, but I looked up Zoe, Mira, and Rumi, and there was a lot of AI generated images of them, like Rumi is pregnant and all that kind of stuff. Ugh, maybe I can go back and find it for you. I don't know if you want to see that, but yeah, it was just like, oh my goodness, you know, just, it's everywhere. The slop is everywhere. Well, now it's not showing up. Alright, Stranger Things is popular, right? Nothing. Nothing. That's so weird. Alright, let's draw some Saja boys. I think my favorite is Romance because of his hair. So far, no AI slop yet. Oh, there we go. Oh no, is that a person? That looks like a real person. Okay. Let's just draw the first drawing. Or the first image that comes up. Okay. You got like Howl earrings and everything. I wonder if it is a reference to Howl. I wouldn't be surprised because a lot of the people who worked on this film are my age. Good morning. It is Monday, January 19th, about 11 o'clock in the morning, and our shower's still busted, but we just got confirmation from the plumber that they're going to be coming in, well, between 11 and 1, so it's 11 now, so hopefully they come soon. Yeah, the shower was busted all weekend, well, since Thursday night until now, so hopefully we can get it finished today or clean or fixed up. But they're basically going to come in, look at the problem, give us a quote, and if the quote is okay, we'll get it fixed hopefully today. But yeah, I thought I would start the vlog off. I did film a few clips over the weekend of me just working on some things, but I finished working on an illustration that's just for me. I'm going to put it up on my portfolio as like something, because I think it turned out great, along with my unicorn painting. That's on my portfolio too on my website, so I'm gonna add this on there. I'm going to post the sketch and all that behind the scenes stuff on Patreon, but I'm gonna scan it. I flattened it overnight and it worked out really well, so I'm going to do just that. I posted a new Bix comic yesterday night. I should have posted it today, but I was on my computer and using Instagram on the desktop, so I was like, you know what, just post it now. Because I can't, there's no way to save drafts on Instagram desktop, and I wish we could, so I can just kind of schedule posts. Like, I can't schedule posts on the desktop, I can only schedule posts on the mobile app for Instagram, which is annoying. So I already had it on screen and I didn't want to discard it and redo it all over again, so I just posted it. And so yeah, and I also over the weekend I created the Eventbrite page for the March event, but I haven't publicized it, so the link is on the Bix Instagram. If anybody wants to sign up for March the 1st, they can do that right now if they find the link, but it's not yet like advertised on the Instagram. So yeah, I'm gonna scan this and we'll see when the plumber comes. Oh my gosh, be scared. hours later. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon now, and our shower is officially fixed. It cost us $452 to replace basically the cartridge in the shower, the handle and stuff to connect to the main water line, because we had to pay for the consult, at least for the place we went to. Pay for the consult, which was $250. This is a flat fee. Wherever they go, they charge $250, and then the repair, and then the parts. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this house that really needs repair, but financially we can't do it all at once. So this one was something we needed to get done, so we had to pay the money. But yeah, that's house ownership for you, especially when something breaks down that is like required in the house. So yeah, we have a leak in the basement that is not too bad right now, that we've kind of kept for a while, because it's just like we don't have the money to fix the foundations. It's a foundation problem for sure, and like eventually I probably might have to move into the basement in terms of my workspace. So yeah, we just might need more room. And then like we have leaks in, apparently we found out today from the plumber, because we were like, can you look at some other stuff and maybe give us some estimated quotes of how much it would cost to repair. So we looked at our kitchen sink. The pipes underneath leak, so he opened that up and he looked and he's like, oh, that's not up to code. So basically the whole thing has to be replaced, because not right now it's leaking, but we were able to clamp it, so it's not leaking right now. But eventually, especially if we sell the house, we're gonna have to replace that, because the inspectors are gonna come and be like, this thing's not up to code, you have to replace that. So eventually that has to get done. Anyway, just a lot of stuff. So if you own a house, you probably know the plight. But yeah, so I was just working on my sister-in-law's dog grooming design for her window. I sent that off to her, and I told her I might need some more dimensions because she wants to add some text. So I just need the proper sizing so I can figure out how much text, because her salon is quite far from me, so it's quite a commute. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of prep work before I get there, and also buy the paints. But she liked the design, so I made that up for her, and hopefully when the weather is nice we can paint that. I'm just happy she's gonna let me paint on her windows. I mean, I can paint on my windows here as practice, but and then after that I ate some lunch, which is like a bag of chips, because whatever. And then I worked on a sign that I want to do. I have my other projects for my door. I have to do in the studio. I couldn't go to the studio today because we were waiting all day to get the shower repaired, and at this point I'm just gonna work from home. So I have those signs, the joy is in and joy is out, but I also had an idea that I sketched in my sketchbook, and I finalized it, or I cleaned it up, and I printed it on this orange paper, but this is just the draft for me to transfer it onto this panel that I got at the dollar store too. I think it's masonite, so I'm gonna use acrylic on it. I don't think I need to, it's fairly smooth. I don't think I need to gesso on it, so I'm gonna try it without the gesso. We shall see, because I love the gesso in the studio. Anyway, this is the design. Freelance is not free, and I did film this on OBS, so you'll see some of it before my computer completely died. I had to stop the recording, but I had an idea of putting like blood dripping towards from the money bag, dripping towards free here, and free was going to be in red, but I was like, maybe it's already aggressive, so I don't want to be explicitly more aggressive with blood. So it's just going to be, yeah, I saw an artist that I follow on Instagram post like this awesome 3D animated I guess illustration slash gif of a knight with the lance, and it says freelance is something something. So I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. I kind of want to do that as that saying as a sign. So this is it. I just cannot let go of images with my ideas, so I drew the knight and stuff. But yeah, we're gonna try this. I'm gonna transfer it. I have some cardboard paper here, and we're gonna try this masonite board. I have my acrylics and all that, so yeah, we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna transfer it onto the board. You're not gonna watch this part because I need to charge this camera, and I want to have some charge for me painting. So yeah, go get energized. Okay, bye. Hi everybody, welcome to part 1 of 2 commentaries in this long ass vlog. So this vlog is mostly me working on some paintings and a lot of me talking about the paintings and other stuff. I'll explain more about that towards the end of the vlog, so if you want to skip over there and get some context, you can go ahead. But yeah, so this is part 1 of 2 of commentary. I am working on this Freelance is Not Free sign that I designed. It's not really a sign, it's kind of like a poster. It is sort of like an illustration, but it has font and text, so I don't really know how to describe it. I guess it's just a design more than a sign. I don't know. It's been difficult to describe the stuff that I'm working on because when I started doing sign painting, I have really been drawn to drawing illustrations and graphic stuff on top of the font. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm working on this. I think I mentioned earlier it was inspired by one of the illustrations that I saw on my Instagram feed. I will try and dig it up and show you what it was. So I hope it's not too copying the idea, but I really loved the wordplay with it, so I wanted to create my own interpretation of it using some of my sign painting skills that I have acquired the last couple of months. I'm still practicing. You can see from my strokes I'm very hesitant, especially in the first letters, the F and the R. The first strokes for me are always so nerve-wracking, and then once I get warmed up, it gets a little bit easier and my strokes are a little bit more confident. I still don't know if I'm doing it correctly, but I also don't know if there is a correct way to do it. There are techniques and there is correct way to do things, but I think like an artist, you do your own thing and it works for you. So I'm not sure if it's the same for sign painting, if that makes any sense, if you understand what I'm talking about. But like when I was working on this, I wasn't sure if I'm using the right brush, if it's the right size. Maybe it's too small of a size for the strokes that I want to achieve. That's why I'm doing more than 2 or 3 strokes. I don't know if I'm comparing myself too much with more experienced sign painters out there, because I'm using more than a number of strokes and I'm not very confident with them. So yeah, take a shot every time I see strokes. But yeah, so it's a work in progress. I'm still practicing, but basically this design is I'm going to transfer it onto a wood panel. I wanted to really sink my teeth into it, so I worked on this Bristol paper instead and used my acrylic paints, but I think I'm gonna move on into putting it onto some sort of wooden board that I find. I'm not sure. I've been thinking about maybe some other colors that I'm gonna use. I used red here, but maybe I might do a mixture of black, red, and blue. I'm still really comfortable working with one color. I haven't done any sort of shading or anything like that, or any shadows with my font. And the font you see here is actually, I think it's called Powell Antique from my Photoshop or from my computer. It was already available, and I just altered it a little bit using my brush. I think you see that a little bit in the speed paint for it towards the earlier part of this vlog. But yeah, I used Powell Antique, and then I just messed with the serifs. I made them a little bit more long and kind of reachy and lancy, I guess, if you want to describe it that way. And I'm really, really happy with the design. I think the knight and the horse look a little bit too cute for what I'm trying to convey, but I also didn't want to convey too much violence with it. I think I mentioned earlier or later that the money bag that the lance is poking was gonna have like blood dripping from it, and then the red blood would drip onto the word free. So I thought that was a little bit too violent, and forget what I was saying, but I didn't go with that. So yeah, I feel, like I said, I think it's a little bit too cutesy, but I really wanted to have a very simple design or illustration for the knight and the horse, and that's why it kind of looks like that. It's very cartoony, it's very graphic. I'm almost thinking like, I guess there's a little bit of graphic design in this piece, even though graphic design is not my passion. I'm very bad at it. So I don't know, I really enjoyed working on it. I am very excited to transfer it over to a wooden board. Somebody made a comment on my Instagram that it would look really good on a shirt, and I totally agree. It would be nice screen printed on the shirt, but I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna transfer it over onto a board, and really that's it. And like, I don't know what to do with this piece itself. I have it hanging at my studio right now. And yeah, it was just basically a practice for me to see if I'm using the right brushes and what it would look like painted. I don't really know what else to say about this piece, but I think it was pretty successful, and I hope I get better in the actual final for this. I really like the red, but I don't know if I'm going to experiment with other colors. My initial color that I wanted to do was blue, but I hate the blue acrylic that I have. I hate it so much, so I went with the red, and the red looks really nice. But yeah, what do you guys think? I have nothing else to say about this drawing other than it was so fun working on it. I can't wait to do more, and I need to kind of work on more designs that are just focused on font and text, so I can actually practice my sign painting. I feel like the knight and the horse and the lance was easy to do because I am an illustrator, so it wasn't that hard. And the strokes that I was using, I am using the techniques I learned on my online courses with sign painting, but it's a bit more freeform, and the rules aren't as strict when you're working on font and text. So yeah, it's but it was definitely a challenge. It was a fun one. I cannot wait to do more. Oh yeah, now I remember what I wanted to say about me learning this new thing. I've been just watching a lot of videos, and I did my online course, but I'm really looking for more hands-on feedback. I'm always on the lookout for like an in-person workshop where somebody who is like a professional sign painter, or at least somebody who has more experience than me, can look at what I do and say, fix this, fix that, here are some tips, because I don't want to start this kind of thing doing everything wrong and making everything harder for myself. But yeah, I think that's something that I wanted to mention about this whole endeavor while I'm watching myself work on this. Now that I think about it, I actually, since I loved making it so much, I'm not sick of it yet, I might actually recreate this piece on Bristol paper in various combinations of colors and have them for my next art market. I don't have any art markets lined up yet. I haven't really heard from anybody. I got rejected from one and really haven't heard from others so far, but I will probably have this for sale like it'll be hand painted, so it'll be unique. Every stroke is gonna be different, but yeah, keep an eye out. And so that's what I'm gonna be doing for my next art market. I do have my online store open, and I am selling originals there, so if I do have leftovers or a bunch that I like can't do anything with, I will likely put them up on my shop. Right now my shop is only accepting orders from Canada and international, not from the States. But you know what, no, that's not true. I am accepting orders from everywhere because a lot of the stuff, everything on my store right now is original artwork from me, so it's not tariffed. So yeah, unless I add stationery and stickers and stuff that I had made somewhere else. But yeah, keep an eye out if you are interested. I will make a bunch of these when I got some time and put them up on the shop. I'll warn you on the vlog. But yeah, now that I think about it, I'm gonna do that because I am going to probably paint this again. Other than painting it onto the wood board that I'm planning on doing it, I'm going to be doing a bunch of recreations of this because it was really nice. It was really fun. Alright, I will leave you to music because we are going to be doing a lot of commentary on this vlog, and I have another one lined up, so I'll see you guys in that 2 of 2. Okay, bye. Alright, here it is. So I have my reference up there. I also have a reference over here and my ring light, so sorry about that because of, look, it looks so messy over here. Anyway, so here is what it looks like, and I decided to just use the Bristol paper. The Bristol paper was the recommended paper to use when I was when I signed up for the Domestica course for a final project. So I have that, and it works really well. So this is a great practice for me. I also used red ink or red paint because this is just for practice, because I couldn't draw on the paint on the masonite board like I originally planned. I looked it up beforehand, and they said it would be best if you sand and gesso masonite board, because the masonite really just like drinks up your paint. So I'm gonna wait. So I thought I would practice on my Bristol, and it looks really great from far away. But if you zoom in, you can see the outlines with the carbon paper. I'm gonna leave this overnight to dry and see if I can erase those marks. I also messed up a little bit here, but yeah, it's a really great practice. It's always so shaky the first few strokes, but once I got into it, I was like, it was amazing. It was fun, it was relaxing. I love doing this. Oh yeah, so you can see it really close up there. So next time, if I'm not gonna be painting in black, I can't use the carbon paper because it's a little too dark. I need either chalk paper or I need to use my pounce pad. So yeah, but this is great practice. I love the design, and what do you guys think? I can't wait to do this on a board, so it'll be really nice. And yeah, the masonite board I have still drying, so I can't touch it. Let me show you the masonite board I have here. Simple masonite board, and it's a great surface. Now that I'm thinking though, once I sand and gesso it and paint the piece in there, I kind of want some hardware to put on it so I can actually hang the sign itself. But look how thin this is, and if I do buy something, I would probably have to like super glue it or something, I don't know. Or I can fit it in between how thin this is, but I'm not sure. So I need to think about that, or I could just hang, like I can put it in a frame, but yeah. So I'm excited to transfer it on the board. Maybe use my pounce pad. I do need to buy some chalk though, or I could just use my son's chalk because he has a bunch in the garage. So yeah, that's the next thing. But we are going to be, once I get to the studio next, I have a couple projects. I have these guys, which this one was way more color for me, so that's going to be quite the adventure, and then my window painting of the unicorn. So got lots of projects lined up, but really fun to practice the freelance one. So yeah, very happy with this. Oops, let's see. Yeah, freelance is not free. I finished one other task. I wanted to make a survey, like a post-event survey for the Bix event. So I made one. I'm going to cut it in half. It's the same kind of one I did for my workshop, so I can fit 2 in 1. Mama, syrup? What are you talking about? Pancake and syrup?
I told him to tell you to shut up.
Oh. Oh, is that how he says shut up? Anyway, so this is the survey. I think it looks pretty good. So the questions are, overall, how satisfied are you with the event? And I made sure there's no typo there. Very satisfied to very unsatisfied to very satisfied. Is this your first time attending events in Brampton like this? That's kind of vague, I guess. So maybe I'll think about that. On a scale of 1 to 5, how satisfied are you with the following aspects of the event? Facilitators, materials, topic. How likely are you to attend another event like this, like Big's event? Not all likely to extremely likely. Were your expectations of the event met? Beyond my expectations, met as expected, below my expectations. What did you like most about the event, and how could the event be improved? Do you have any suggestions for next time? And I put the little logo there. I thought he was saying syrup, but he's saying shut up, I guess. Excuse me? What did you say? What did you You told me to shut up. You shut up. You shut up. You shut up. Bye-bye. I made an error and printed out 20 copies, so now I have too much of these. But I guess what I could do is I could just cross out the date at the top for the March event and just use the leftovers. So yeah, that's just way too much. I don't think I'm even gonna have that many people do the surveys. It's really dark in here, I'm sorry. Okay, let's cut this, and then I need to make a pile of things to bring to the studio for the event, because next week I'm gonna start really prepping hard. I need to get to Costco to buy the snacks, mostly like drinks and stuff, anything that is under $100. And then I need to check all the kind of tech there, so I know there's a microphone for the live comics, for the readings, and I need to ask my readers to either send me their stuff or tell me how they're going to present their stuff. If they need PowerPoint, so I have to make sure all the like videos and the projectors and everything that's there works. What else? That's really it. I just want to make sure that there is a setup ready for the mic and all that. My friend has a Bluetooth speaker that she can bring, but I think if the system works there, then I could just use that system for music. I might have to ask somebody to make a playlist for me, because my music is all my music from high school, which is, I don't know. I guess I should think about music. I also wanna, there's gonna be an open studio at my venue, which is basically the studio that I go to. There's gonna be another open studio where it's gonna be open to the public, and so I think I'm gonna leave some flyers there. It's gonna be on Wednesday, so I either have to go tomorrow, should have gone today, because I have Mr. Guy for the next 2 days. Wait, is it on tomorrow? Let me check. The open studio is actually the 28th. Okay, so I can still make it. Good morning. Yes, I'm wearing the same sweater as yesterday, but it is Tuesday, January 20th, about 10 in the morning. Mr. Guy is awake, so before I do that, I thought I would show you what I was working on for the last hour or so at my desk before he woke up. So Bianca sent me her poster that I wanted to showcase for the Bix Jam. So she sent me this. It looks so good. I'll put it up on the screen too. But this is how it looks like on the white paper. So this is what it is. It's like D&D poster. The poster's D&D themed, so it looks so good. And then I printed it out on color paper, just so I can see what it looks like. So let me show you one in pink and blue. So that's what I'm grabbing. Yeah, it looks so great. And I also printed out a few of the quarter copies that I can print and put up. So yeah, she did such an amazing job. And like, yeah, I'm just really happy with that. So I printed that out, a couple of these, and I am going to post it on the Bix Instagram as the promo for today. I'm trying to post on the Instagram at least twice a week. So I have another post lined up for the live comic reading on Thursday, but I wanted another one today, so I'm gonna post the this beautiful poster. It looks so good. I love it so much. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I worked on. And then I worked on, I don't know if I talked about this. Did I talk about this in the vlog, but I worked on a new illustration idea, and then I also did a page on my sketchbook. So I think I mentioned this, but on Patreon I'm gonna do once a month sketchbook flip throughs, so they'll be like real-time videos of me flipping through the sketchbook. So because I noticed I have been using my sketchbook a lot more for actual idea generation, and also just like, yeah, because I've been doing sign painting, I've been thinking about design, and I've been using my sketchbook a lot more. But I've also been drawing stuff. Like I did some sketches for the Bix logo. They're all in here, like my initial ideas. So yeah, I will be doing a flip through. So yeah, I did maybe a page today. Yeah, page today. So I think every other day I've been using my sketchbook. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, it'll be a new Patreon thing, and everything on my Patreon is available for $1. So yeah, you can sign up, see everything for $1 if you want to see some behind the scenes stuff, some sketches. I've been posting a lot more too. So yeah, that's been my goal for this year, is to post more on Patreon, actual behind the scenes. And it's just hard because I do vlogs, and the vlogs have behind the scenes stuff too. So, but yeah, it's only for $1. So look forward to that. I think it'll be fun. I haven't done a sketchbook flip through in years. So yeah, but I have my idea. I'll show it to you guys eventually, because I'm gonna go and get Mr. Guy. He is awake and I don't want to keep him waiting too much. So yeah, all right, talk to you guys later.
These are televisions, but they're also cameras.
Hello, and welcome to part 2 of commentary in this long-ass vlog. So, in this part of the video, I am going to be working on this illustration that I called The Visitor, and yeah, I will start off talking about the piece itself, and then we're going to be moving on to different topics because this is a long segment. Yeah, I basically, this is, I would say 3 of 3 of the paintings that I've done for the beginning of the year. So I drew the unicorn one to celebrate the year of the horse 2026, and then I drew this other piece that I called mantra that I posted on my Instagram. I posted the sketch of it and like kind of behind the scenes on Patreon, and I didn't really talk about it on the vlog. I don't remember explicitly, but I will show you the illustrations that I'm talking about. So this is the third one of that has like this kind of fake story beside it. Well, this is the second one because the horse didn't have that one. So yeah, the other illustration, the mantra one, I made up that I guess the text that's beside it, and I really like doing that with some pieces, so I decided to do it for this one. So this one is called The Visitor, and yeah, it's just a fake kind of children's book illustration style. You wouldn't necessarily call this content for children's book because it's a little bit scary, but that was my intent. My goal was to make it look like a page from a children's book or story, and yeah, I think it turned out great. I really love how I colored the scary guy coming into the door. The girl in the foreground, I don't really like how, I like how she turned out in the end, but she's not my favorite kind of, what do you call it, render. I feel like I made her eyes a little bit too big and pretty. I wanted them to be big, but I didn't want it to be too pretty, so that's how I feel like it looks a little bit off in that way. I wanted her to match the look of the scary individual coming into the door, but I think she looks a little bit too pretty. Her eyes are too big and just too eyelashy. So I don't know, but I'm not gonna redo it. It still turned out really great. I'm trying to do these illustrations within I guess within 2 days in total. Like I sketch out the idea and then I execute it really quickly, and I don't want to spend too much time on it like I usually do with a lot of my pieces, because I find that if I work on something too long, 1, I get bored, and 2, I guess the vibe and the feeling of it kind of goes away. So that's why I like working that way, because it just makes it feel more alive if I finish it right away. So I just don't I don't understand people or artists who work on something for years and years and years, and I wish I could do that, especially if I'm tackling like a big painting or a big piece. I tend to get bored very easily and I don't want to work on it anymore, so that's why I try to finish everything really quickly. But the downside of that is the execution is not 100%. So anyway, I am using my ruler here to sketch out the lines for the door. I don't really do a lot of perspective. You can see me trying to figure out how the perspective on the door works. But a lot of my perspective work is really just trial and error. Whatever looks correct to me works. If you take a ruler to my perspective work, it's not gonna be accurate. Yeah, so but again, I really like the way I rendered the guy in the middle. Next time I would probably I used to draw bigger eyes, and then lately I've been drawing a lot of people with like small eyes because I think that's a little bit more freaky. So for this one I decided to make her eyes big because I wanted it to look like she was a little bit afraid. Her expression in the picture, it was kind of intentional. I didn't want her to look scared. I wanted her to look tired, a little bit hesitant of the choice that she made. So she's not exactly like screaming, she's not exactly frowning, she's not exactly smiling. So she's just kind of like, yeah, okay. That was the goal of that. I gave her some eye bags, and then towards the beginning of the illustration, her cheeks, I wanted them to be a bit more hollow, but it didn't really work out, and I made it a little bit too sharp, so I tried to fix that with some color pencil. I do use some color pencil at the end. I just find that the color pencil just accentuates my shadows. My issue with watercolor, for me, is I don't use a lot of wet on wet technique because I'm a little bit too much of a bitch. Like, I'm scared to mess up using really bright, stark, pigmented watercolor in the beginning. Mostly because I don't plan my colors when I'm painting something. I don't do like unless I really care, I don't really do a color plan. And I think my pieces would be more vibrant from the get-go if I had a plan. I kind of use the watercolor base right now as like my ideation for what the colors are gonna turn out like. That's why I do them so light, because I can still change it if I decide against the color that I'm using. That can backfire, of course, because the color underneath will show if I do make a mistake, but usually I commit with my choices. But I think that's something I need to work on. When I'm painting a piece with watercolor, I need to be a bit more brave with my pigment and my color choices. I need to put more color on my brush instead of water. But again, like I said, that's just a function of me not planning very well. If I had a good idea of what color I wanted to lay on the paper, I would probably use more color. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it also just cuts off the amount of time when I'm working on something because I don't need to plan the color idea. I'm not a planner. I don't know if you've noticed that watching me work on paintings. If you've been watching a lot of my work for a while now, you notice I don't plan very much when I'm painting something. So, and I typically like to sketch right on my watercolor paper right away and use that sketch as the final. So yeah, it's just been the way I work for so long that it's hard to change that. But I think for my colors to look better and not rely so much on the the processing on Photoshop to bump up the colors, I probably need to work on that. And yeah, I will try and do that for my next piece. It's been nice making finished pieces. I feel like I haven't done any of those in a while. I really had a good kind of start with my unicorn year of the horse painting. I was really happy with that, and I want to continue that productivity. Not really productivity, just like that I guess the dopamine hit that I get from creating pieces that I like. This one, again, the character could do a lot better for next time. It was just an experiment with the eyes. I think I'm leaning towards more smaller eyes nowadays. But yeah, I just like how I rendered the scary dude. So that's it about this piece. By the way, this original illustration will be up on my shop eventually, along with the other ones, the unicorn one, the unicorn You're the Horse one, and the mantra one, and this one will be up on my Store Envy shop soon. I do have my shop open, and all of the stuff in there are it's all just my original artworks. There are a bunch of old stuff in there, so if you are interested in grabbing an original from me, my shop is open for that. I think I like decreased the price on a lot of them, and also the price listed in the final shipping when you buy something from the shop, from the originals on there, it includes shipping and tracking and everything. So yeah, if you're interested, please check it out, and if you want this one, it'll be up there eventually. Okay, so we have a lot of time remaining for the rest of the commentary part for this speed painting, and I really actually don't have anything to talk about. I had a topic that I wanted to discuss, which was mostly about like grant applications, writing applications for, you know, artists. I had some opinions about that, but this is my third time recording it, and as I talk about the grants and applications, I just feel like I'm a little bit too biased, and I don't know much about the topic yet really to fully discuss it without just venting, without any proper research or like actual lived experience, because I've only started exploring the idea of obtaining, you know, artist income and funding through applying for grants. I've been doing applications for like the last 15 years for certain things, for, you know, tabling, for artist jobs and stuff. But it's just becoming just like a really big part of my artist career that I am starting to form opinions about it. And like I said, I've only delved into grant application and writing grants for the last year and a half, because it's something I've been exploring outside of, you know, making money on my art through, I guess, mostly content creation and social media. That's how I made money through my art for most of my quote-unquote professional art career for the last 10-15 years. I've been doing, you know, Patreon, I've been doing YouTube, and it goes up and down, but for the most part, that is how I have been trying to make money off of my art, you know, with tabling and all that stuff. It kind of goes hand in hand. So the last 2 years, ever since having my son, I have been exploring different avenues on how to have an art career without relying on social media and content creation and Patreon, and just, yeah. So one of them, almost a year ago, I took a mentorship program that Bao was offering for local artists, with a person who is like, who works within that kind of world. She's an artist. She does gallery shows, she does like big exhibition pieces, and she also does teaching. She has different revenue streams for her artist business, but she has also a lot of experience with, you know, the gallery world. And I wanted to understand that a little bit more, because I did go to art school, but I didn't really learn anything about the gallery space and the gallery experience, you know, having your art exhibited, applying for those positions, and just basically that world. So I signed up for that free mentorship program, and it was really interesting, and that's why I went to the Toronto Outdoor Art Festival and had a piece up there that was part of that program. And that program was really helpful because it kind of taught me about how the gallery world works, at least in Ontario, and through the eyes and lens, or the lens of the teacher that we had, or the mentor that we had, because she has a lot of experience in that. And so it was really interesting, very insightful. And at the end of it all, I think it's just not for me. It just doesn't align with my values, and it's not something that I think at this point I'm going to actively pursue. If it falls on my lap organically, and for some reason in the next 2 years I get into, gallery shows, then maybe, but it's not something that I'm gonna actively pursue. I learned a lot from that, and now I am trying to explore, the world of applying for artist grants through the Ontario Arts Council, maybe trying to get funding for my art career through that, on top of the other things that I'm trying to do, such as commissions, at this point trying to sell stuff on my shop, tabling if I do have them. So there's a lot of like different revenue streams right now that I am trying to nurture, because I can't make money off of just one, and I don't think you can make money off of just applying for grants, although you can, definitely apply for more than one grant at a time. So yeah, it's all very new to me, but I already know that I don't like it. Because grant writing is, you have to, when you apply for a grant, it depends on what you're applying for, but it deals with a lot of talking about your work, talking about yourself, talking about what you want to provide the world or your community as an artist, and like the work you will do, if the work that you will do is going to be valuable, if it's going to be, amazing and people will benefit from it. And yeah, it's just a lot of still selling yourself, which I hate so much. And but it's like you have to do it in order for, your grants to be read, and to possibly get grants, you need to really sell yourself. And it doesn't mean it's bad, it's just you have to show, these judges that you are deserving of the money that they will be giving to you, or the money that is there, because a lot of artists need that money. And yeah, this is very competitive, it's very overwhelming when you're applying for a grant. I spoke to a couple artists. I spoke to a textile artist, and she's applying for a grant to get a new loom. She, does embroidery, she does a lot of textiles, and her loom is broken. So it's very expensive. So in order for her to get a new one without spending so much money, is to apply for a grant. And she's talking to somebody who kind of reads grants. She's talking to a lot of people who have applied for the same grants as she has. So a lot of work goes into it, a lot of research. And I think once you get the grant, you should be paid extra for writing the grant because you will put your heart and soul and hours into, writing about this. And I think you should get a stipend for that. I don't know if that's a thing, because again, I'm very new to this world, and it's just like, from the artists I've talked to, it's a lot of work. And so it's just like, it's just something else that I can't do. I just feel sometimes when I'm, learning about these things and learning a bit more about, different aspects of the art world outside of the content creation stuff, that is inherently quite selfish, really, because you are working on the stuff that you want to work on, and whoever likes your stuff will, help fund you. And so I'm very comfortable in that space, but it's getting to the point where it's like, I can't do it as much because I'm busy with, raising my son. And so it's just, I have to kind of figure it out, really. So this is one way. And so it's just, and I'm also getting kind of sick of social media stuff. And yeah, I just feel like, am I lazy? Am I just, I'm definitely stubborn. Like, I can't just draw stuff and expect money to come from nowhere, right? I have to work for it. But just like exploring these new things and these new avenues, it's just, yeah, I just feel like a really shitty person sometimes because a lot of artists are going through the same thing, and I don't think I complain too much. But anyway, I'm kind of going off topic. I'm venturing onto like rant here. But yeah, so grant writing is, again, I'm still new to it, so maybe it'll get better as I learn more about the process. But it's definitely something that is not gonna be like a main source of funding for me as an artist. I know some artists who have been applying and getting grants and writing grants for like over 20 years, over 15 years. Organizations do it so they can, you know, so they're able to get money from the government that the government has saved for these artists, to like fund whatever project they want to do, whatever workshop, whatever project. Yeah, so it's competitive. It's competitive. It's a lot of work, and it's still a lot of selling. I just want to retire in like my own home and just draw all day and not think about these things. But you know, that's not possible, especially now that I have a little boy, I have a son. It's just, yeah, I just have to make it work. So I thought I'd share my thoughts with you guys a little bit about, you know, that my steps into figuring out different avenues of, you know, an art career outside of what I have been doing for the last almost, I guess we could say 12, 13 years. So eventually I do want to step away from like social media entirely. I would love to do that, but I think at this point it's something that I still need to do in order to get my work out there so I can actually get gigs and work, right? It's a necessary evil, but eventually I just don't want to do that anymore, and I just want to have like a nice set client base. Maybe if my sign painting thing works out, if doing windows for businesses works out, then I can just do that. I mean, that still needs a bunch of like advertising nowadays, because that's how people advertise their business, is through social media. And I don't know if that'll change. I guess you have your, you know, artists who have been doing their craft for a long time, that there's just like word of mouth. So maybe that's something that will eventually happen to me when I'm like a little bit older. I don't know. I've just been thinking about it, because it's like I cannot be doing markets like I have been. Last year I did so many markets and I was tired all the time. Like towards like the end of the year, I felt like I had a market every other week at some point, and so it was just so exhausting. And I was like, I don't think I can do this for at all anymore. Like I think for the next, I won't be able to be I don't think I'll be able to be doing this for the next 10 years. Like lugging a case, you know, bringing stuff to overseas and stuff like that. It's just not something that's feasible for me. And I think, yeah, it's probably going to be less and less, especially now with my kid. It was just like I was tired, and then during my days off where I was supposed to rest, I could not rest because I was taking care of my child and spending time with him. So, and then, but yeah, so it's just, markets are also something that I really want to lessen at some point. Not like this year. I'm still applying for some. I still have stock. So yeah, it's just, I've been thinking a lot about those things and trying new things, and I just wanted to share that. What else? I mean, we are close to the end of the video, so yeah, it's really long. I don't know what else to say. The next week I'm going to be very busy preparing for my event with Bix, and hopefully that goes okay. Right now it is January 24th when I'm doing this commentary, and we have a snowstorm coming in the next couple hours. So I'm really hoping that this would be the last big snowstorm and it doesn't happen on the day or weekend that I'm holding my event, because I'm seeing a lot of people canceling events for this weekend just because they know there's a big snowstorm coming. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen to me next weekend, because it's gonna be so brutal. I'm gonna have to like cancel my insurance for the event, put it to another day, change up all my advertising. Oh, it's gonna be so painful. So please pray for me that does not happen. Oh, I wanted to mention, I'm using these Aristo Desairs color pencils that I got from Desairs, and they are okay. They're not as pigmented as my Prismacolors, and my Prismacolors right now are at the studio, and I'm working on this piece at home. So I'm just using the Aristos to kind of bump up the contrast of my piece a little bit more, like darken the darks and mostly the darks, because the white and lighter colors of this set again aren't very pigmented and not as waxy, so they don't lay on the page very much even if I press really hard, but they're okay. They still show a little bit of color, and it helped a little bit. And actually, when I went to the studio to use my Prismacolors, all I did was just use the white Prismacolor pencil and bump up some of the whites. I think I covered that a little bit in the vlog for next week, so yeah, look forward to that. All right, last few minutes of the commentary track. I have not been watching any shows lately. The only new show I've been watching is The House of Usher, that I am watching with my partner. It is a spin-off from one of our favorite shows from Starz, Spartacus, and oh man, we love Spartacus so much. The first 2 seasons were amazing. 3rd season was okay, and this new spin-off, House of Usher, we were very excited for it. I thought it was like fake for a long time, but apparently they did it because Asher, one of the characters from, you know, Spartacus, people really liked him. He's like he's a very evil character, but he's amazing. He's one of our favorite characters. So we're watching it right now, and it's okay. It's not the same, but it's like Asher is the only character that is the same from the series, so we're really like pumped to see him again. So we've been watching that. We just finished the latest episode, and I have a couple things on my list that I want to watch. There's a bunch of movies that I need to see that I have not seen yet because I have no time. I heard about Heated Rivalry. I want to watch that so bad, but I know if I start, I'm probably going to binge it. And I hear it's very, you know, spicy and very kind of sexy, so I don't want to put it on when my child is around, and my partner isn't really into romance stuff, so I can't watch it with him, so I need to watch it by myself, but I just have not found the time to. And I know if I start, I'm never going to want to stop, and I'll probably just watch it on my phone, which is a horrible experience. But sometimes I get to like the point of obsession that I need to finish a show that I just watch it on like my tiny ass phone. So yeah, that's I don't think I watched anything lately. The only thing I've been watching really are like some old movies that I enjoy because I'm putting it on for my son. The last, he's been really into Spirited Away, and I love watching that with him. I put on The Boy and the Heron for him fairly recently, and he liked it, but he still goes for Spirited Away. And his second favorite, or his other favorite right now, is The Iron Giant, and that's one of my favorites too. So I was really surprised that he liked that movie. So it's been fun exposing him to movies that I watched as a kid. So it's fun to see what he likes. And yeah, just been rewatching some old movies. Really looking forward to the time where I can sit down and watch Heated Rivalry and some of the other horror movies that I've been seeing but I cannot watch, so I've been avoiding spoilers for them like The Plague. But yeah, we are nearing the end here, so I'm probably going to leave the rest of this to music, and I hope I didn't say anything that would offend anybody. I'm always afraid that I'm gonna offend somebody with what I say because I'm so conflict avoidant. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I just wanted to share some thoughts, and if I accidentally, if I offend you, it's not my intent. I just wanted to share what I was thinking. And if I spoke out of turn, if you think I said something too horrible, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, alright, I will see you guys later. Bye. Hello, Editing Joy here. It is Saturday, January 24th, about 7:40 in the evening, and I'm actually just finishing up the vlog edit. The last thing you see is me working on the painting and doing a commentary. So this vlog is just like all painting and commentary. Really sorry about that. So I have to cut it up because I have a lot of footage from after I took that, like a bunch of those paintings, painting clips. I have footage of me at the studio working on my door, my window painting. I also have some footage of me going to the thrift store. So I will be putting that in the next vlog, which will help me a little bit when editing for next week's vlog, because at that point the Bix event is already over. So it'd be nice, it's nice that I have a little bit of footage for next week's vlog. So yeah, look forward to that. If you watch the vlogs, that'll be in the next one. So I'm gonna end it here though. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me on Patreon. You can check that out. I will be posting a bunch about the Bix event on the Bix Instagram. It's Bix Brampton on Instagram. If you'd like to check it out, I will try and like take some snippets. And then if you want to follow some updates, I am always on my Instagram. I've been trying to post to Blue Sky some more, and I have been posting more on Patreon for like behind the scenes stuff, so check that out too. But I'm gonna end the vlog here, so thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you next week. Please pray that my event goes well and that no snowstorm happens to cancel it, please. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.